to another episode of my Sisters in Cash podcast. This podcast is featured by modelsearcher.com, your adult-friendly social media platform. So today is my guest, Tilly Toy.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, Tilly, please tell us a little bit about you because I know you now a long time, and I think also a lot of people from the industry does. But yeah, tell us a little bit about you.
So I've been in the industry now. Actually, I've been in the industry now 10 years. I can officially say I've been in the industry a decade this year because I got into the adult industry when I was 18 and started dancing, and I am now 28. So I'm officially a 10-year veteran of the industry. I'm so proud of that. And
Nice.
yeah, so I danced. I did a short little stint, a 1-year stint as a pro dominatrix, and that was really fun. I was really young, and so it was really good for my character building and my not problem solving skills, that would be the wrong, but like conflict resolution skills and being able to stand my ground and be assertive. It actually taught me so many little life skills and like how to really like talk to somebody and be firm with them, because I was always a very shy, sweet, you know, if we had a
Really?
disagreement, I would probably just be like, oh, okay, sure, like you can have it your way. Like I always was the one to just like fold because I'm hard to bother. So I'm usually like, yeah, sure, you want it that way, whatever. But it really taught me how to stand my ground and be assertive and more dominant, and how to like tap into that side of me, which has helped me massively through the rest of my career. So even if doming is not your thing, I always recommend to people, I'm like, give it a try. Just role play it, even if it's just you in the bathroom mirror. Role play it a little bit, because it's a huge like character building life skill practice. And if you do it as a dominatrix, then it's also kind of fun.
It
But I
is,
did
it
that
is.
and then transitioned into the online industry, and now here I am.
Nice, nice. So why you started in the industry?
I loved to dance.
I
So
know you tell me this before.
yeah. So when I was 18, we me and some girlfriends, we all 18. And so we were all sitting there like, okay, we're 18 now. What do we go do? So we went to a hookah bar, because that's what you do when you turn 18. That's what you're finally allowed to do. So we went to a hookah bar and gave ourselves all a massive headache smoking hookah until we like could not breathe anymore. And it was like only midnight maybe when we were finally like, okay, this is a lot of hookah. Now what do we do? And so we were like, well, and it may have been my idea, but I was like, well, we could go to the strip club because there's an 18 and up strip club. And we lived like maybe an hour north of Portland, Oregon, up in like the mountains in Washington. So we're like some small town backwoods girls, and we're like, let's go to the strip club. And so I was like, my brother told me about it. Like, we're gonna go. And so we all loaded back into the Honda and rolled down into Portland, found this strip club, which it's called the Golden Dragon. It's still there. It used to be a Chinese restaurant, and also called the Golden Dragon. And then somebody bought it and turned it into a strip club, and they didn't want to change all of the decorations from the Chinese restaurant to a strip club, so they just kept it. And so it's like a Chinese, it's a Golden Dragon strip club. So it's like and it still has like a lot of the decorations. So when you walk in, like it feels like you're walking into like a Chinese restaurant, and like you're gonna get some orange chicken and throw some ones or something. But so we walked in, and we stayed for maybe like 20 minutes before I was like, guys, I think I could do this. Like, I was just enchanted by the whole thing. And it wasn't a super busy night. I want to say it was like a Thursday or something. Like, it wasn't a weekend yet, but it was getting close to it. And so we watched the dancers, you know, we spent the last of our money because I worked at Dairy Queen at the time, so we were not rich. And then we were like, okay, I think I could do this. And my two friends are like, yeah, you could do this. You could definitely do this. Like you dance all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I think I can. So I went back on Sunday because I asked one of the girls there. I was like, how do I get a job here? She was like, oh, just come in on Sunday and audition. I was like, okay. So I showed up on Sunday with nothing. I had no idea what audition meant or like I didn't even think about it. I just showed up. I was like, this is where I want to be. I don't know what I need to do, but tell me and I'll do it. So I walked in and the bouncer that was sitting at the desk to like check IDs and stuff, he's like, what's up? Like, I want a job. And he's like, okay, you're gonna audition? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever I need to do. What do I need to do? And he like points at the stage, which has like 5 people sitting at it, which luckily it's a Sunday, so 5 isn't that many. But he points at the stage, he's like, well, you just get up there and do 2 songs and we tell you if you're hired or not. And I was like, oh, in front of the customers. Like I didn't know. I had no clue. That was I'd only been in a strip club twice. So I said, sure, I'll do it, even though I had nothing with me. And he was like, do you have shoes? And I was like, no, I'll just do it barefoot. And he was like, okay, crazy lady. And I was like, yeah, like, don't even worry about it. I'm like, I'll come back with shoes. And so he had one of the other girls take me back to the locker room and she was like, yeah, you can put your stuff here. Do you have anything? Do you need to borrow anything? And I was like, no, I'm just going to do it in this. And she's like, well, what are you wearing? And I was like, I don't know. And so I like took off my pants, my shirt, and I'm in like a leopard print bra
Oh,
and purple underwear, like not not cute underwear, like just whatever I happened to throw on that day. And barefoot. And I was like, yeah, sure. This is what I like. I'm here. I'm ready for it. And she was like, are you sure you're ready? And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. And so I went out there, did 2 songs, and got hired on the condition that I came back with shoes. But that's how I got
this
into the
is
industry.
crazy.
Yeah. I was just, I knew I wanted to be there. I was very eager. And I'm a very shameless person and always have been. So it's hard to embarrass me. Like looking back on it, I'm like, man, I was 18 and showed up with nothing and was totally unprepared. Like I maybe could have been embarrassed by that and like, oh, whoops, like I don't know, I'm out of my element. But instead, I was just like, you know what? Like, woo, I'll just do it barefoot. It's fine, guys. I promise. But
But why
it
the
was fun.
but why the other girls give you some clothes? Haven't give you some clothes.
There were only like 3 girls there because it was a Sunday night. And so I think they were all just kind of entertained by me coming in to dance barefoot. They were like, yeah, you'll be fine. And I made like 20 bucks and I was like, whoa, I made 20 bucks in 2 songs. Like I was so stoked about that because I had been working at Dairy Queen before this. And when I wasn't working at Dairy Queen, my friends and I would go up to the U Pickett blueberry farms in the summer. And we would start at like 5 or 6 in the morning, pick a bunch of blueberries, like these big 5-gallon buckets of blueberries. And then the farmer would pay us by the pound for how many blueberries we picked. Instead of like having like employees, it was a way to like go make extra money. So we would go pick blueberries and I worked at Dairy Queen. So to make 20 bucks in like 2 songs, I was I was hooked. I was so into it. And I'd already been in college for 2 years at this time too. So I started college when I was 16 and I had already tried all the things that I thought I had wanted to do as a career and kind of discovered quickly that none of them excited me. I didn't feel good about any of them. I could do them all. I was capable of it. They were all easy enough to learn it and do it, but I had thought I wanted to be like a psychologist and then I thought I wanted to be a therapist and then I was like maybe I want to be a teacher. I don't know. And so I tried all these different things like all over. I tried every major there was at this college by the time I was 18 and I was like the only thing that has made me excited about going to work or the future or the money that I'm making was a strip club. And that's like, I don't like the stigma around it that that's like the last resort. Like, you can't make money anywhere else, or like you're stuck and you have to do it, because that was like, it was a gift to me. It was my freedom finally, and my way of like the first step on a path that makes me so happy. And that job brought me so much joy, taught me so much about myself and about life, and made me such a strong person. I would not trade those years for anything ever. It was incredible. So yeah, stripping is near and dear to my heart. And sometimes I even think, I'm like, maybe I could go back and work like 2 days a week or something at a strip club, just because I really do miss it. I miss a lot of it, but I'm just not so much of a night person anymore. So I'd probably be a day shift girl. I don't know. Like, I think about it every now and then. My schedule's not consistent enough.
I know. So about your schedule, can you tell us what you are doing exactly now, or what you was doing the last days and the last years?
It has changed so much. And it still does change. I mean, anyone who's been in the industry for a year even knows that from January to December, things change a lot, and what your customers want from you changes a lot. What social media wants from you changes a lot. Like, it's like always like a 360 turnaround between over the 12-month course of the year. So my schedule just kind of has to flow with that. You have to remain so flexible. And I like to make lists. I have like 5 notepads right here for some reason.
I
But
know the struggle.
yeah, like, I love to make lists. I love my calendars. My Google Calendar is like so like color coded and organized, but it does not really help me predict what I'm going to be doing next month. I can usually get like a week out planned of, this is what my days are going to look like. And I think you just have to kind of be okay with that if you're going to be in the industry. I do know people who stay very consistent and have it like kind of a 9 to 5, like they have a really good schedule around it. Usually those are people who do live performances, so like who are streaming where and interacting with people on a regular basis. So if they're not live from 2 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or if they stay live like on a consistent schedule, so that way their customers who are also on a similar schedule can consistently be there. Those girls typically seem to have a more consistent schedule than I do. And part of it is that like I could kind of narrow it all down and have like a Monday through Friday schedule, but I don't like it. I've tried that. I did go in like 2021. I went like 3 or 4 months on the same schedule, which was the last time that has ever happened, where I had my like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday were my shoot days. So I had a break in between them. So I wasn't doing makeup and setting up the room every single day. It was every other day. And I would film those days. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, so the opposite days, I would do all of the editing and posting and all that, and be able to stay like in my pajamas all day. So that was nice. And then I had Sundays off, kind of. I mean, we're never off because
We are never
social
off.
media is part of the job. So we off. My days off. My mom actually got after me like 2 months ago. I said something about how I was like, you know what I did the other day is I went and I got a massage, and I did a massage and IV therapy, did a little shopping, and then I went home and just slept all day and woke up and had dinner and went back to bed. And she was like, wow, you took an actual day off? And I was like, oh, is that what that was? So And it made me realize that I haven't actually taken a day off in a long time before that. And maybe not since then. I'm pretty bad at it, trying to prioritize
So,
that more.
so just for the people outside. So after the strip club, you started to create content, right?
Yes, yeah. After the strip club, I danced for 2, maybe 3 years. I think I danced for 3 years. I danced less consistently on the third year because I was also I did the dominatrix thing for a year, roughly, also while dancing. So that was kind of supplementing the income in a way that I could do. I danced less because I was getting tired of the night shift and the club that I worked at, because I stayed at the Golden Dragon actually. I as my like home base. I really loved that club.
It's
Not it.
already your home base.
It was my home base, yeah, at that time. So I would dance there from like I get there at like 10 or 11 and then dance until like 3, 4, 5 in the morning and be leaving when the sun was coming up. And that at that club, that is when I made the most money and did the best. So I didn't want to move the schedule. If I was going to dance there, I was going to do it the right way and make the most I could. I was getting tired of the night shift and I had danced at the other clubs. The other clubs were had alcohol at them and that was fine, but I really just preferred I didn't want to sit and have a drink and talk to people. I wanted to be on stage the whole time. And there were clubs for that, but just none that were close to me and that I liked and wanted to be at. So I just kind of started to transition to day jobs. So I got a job as a diamond broker. So I was like, you know what? I need something consistent during the day. I've got all this free time during the day. I'm gonna do that. Like I went and got a job as a diamond broker for a little bit. And it was really boring. Fun. The people were good, but it was boring. And the guy I was dating at the time was like, hey, I keep getting asked by these girls to join their premium Snapchat. What is this? Have you heard of this? And I was like, oh yeah, like we used to charge people to get our Snapchat from us.
Okay, so you started to film content after the strip club, right?
Right. Yes. So I I was dancing for maybe just about 3 years. And although like I loved it, I was not super big on the night shift and, just the club atmosphere and dealing with people, drunk people every single night can be kind of exhausting. So I moved it down to, because I was dancing like 4 to 5 days a week when I first started, because I was all about it. And then I was like, this is kind of burning me out. And I don't have any room for a social life outside of this because my social battery is being drained every night entertaining drunk people. So, and I'm having
I
like
know
all these
this.
conversations. Yeah. Like just constantly talking to people and listening to them and their problems. And people will dump their problems on a dancer. We're like therapists. So you end up with all kinds of baggage being put on you. And at the end of the night, you have to kind of like shrug it all off, get your own space and bubble back. But you don't really want to go see people again after that. So my social life kind of went down because I also like my social life became the strip club. I mean, that's where all my friends worked too. So it's like, you know what? Like my life is starting to revolve around this, and I'm such a night owl now. And I am I'm a daytime person. I love to be
Me
outside.
too.
So it was kind of taking away from the things that really make me happy outside of work. And I just needed a little change. So I moved it down to dancing 2 nights a week, just on Friday, Saturday, the money nights. And
The money
then
nights, I like
the
it.
money nights. And then during the week, at first, I was living in Beaverton, Oregon, and I was boarding dogs and had like a little dog sitting business at my apartment because I was living with 2 other 20-year-old girls. And I was like, you guys mind if I fill this apartment with dogs? And they were like, please fill it with dogs. So we would have like 5 dogs over at a time while I was dancing on the weekends. And all week, we would be watching dogs. And I'd have them on the weekends too, because I was gone only overnight. And then I'd wake up at like 6 a.m. because there was always like some puppy there that wanted to be walked. So I'd get up early, walk them, take a nap, walk them again, and just got to be outside hanging out with the animals all day long. It was so great. And then Friday, Saturday night, I would go dance and make extra cash. And so it was kind of perfect for a while. And then I started to date this guy that lived like an hour away. And so then I was kind of juggling dancing and my little dog business. And if I wanted to go spend any time with him, it was like way out of the way. So I couldn't leave the dog. So I was like, okay, this isn't sustainable. And I like to travel. I like to leave. Maybe the dog business isn't right for me because I can't even go visit someone an hour away. It's getting really inconvenient unless I want to like hire somebody, and I'm not ready to scale this business in my apartment. So then I got a job as a diamond broker and started doing that full time and stopped dancing and just was a diamond broker. And I made it about 2 months. I made it like through the training that was taking up my brain's power at the time. But once I got through it and I was just in the role of diamond broking, I was so bored. So the guy I was dating was like, well, hey, what's up with all these girls? Because he used to be a bouncer at strip clubs. So he knows a ton of strippers too. He's kind of from the industry as well. Not quite in the same way, but he knew a bunch of dancers. And he was like, why, like all these girls are selling Snapchat now? What is up with that? And I was like, oh yeah, like at the strip club, all your customers want your number. And it's not safe to just be giving your number out to a bunch of random people at a strip club. So we started just doing Snapchat, and I would charge $20 for my Snapchat username. And then I'd post like sexy pictures on there and when I'm going to be at work and all that. And it was a good way to make $20 and stay in touch with your
Yes,
customers. So that
yes,
way, like
yes.
it was a super beneficial thing. And they got to feel special and good because they had like a direct contact with you that felt a little more intimate than like just following you on Instagram or something. They had a space where they could message me and ask about work or whatever, if I was going to be there, or send a tip or whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, like I still have like a good like 100 people on my Snapchat that have paid me $20 over the years. And he was like, well, these girls are charging monthly. I was like, what? So I reached out to one of my friends and I was like, hey, that I saw her doing it. I was like, what are you doing here? She was like, oh, dude, I'm just charging $30 a month or like 60 for 3 months. And I just post like myself like in the shower and stuff on the story. And they're just paying for like a subscription to watch that. And I was like, what? I could do that. So I posted to my other Snapchat story that I had like all of my regular people on. I was like, I'm no longer dancing. I'm sure you guys figure that one out. But if you want to stay in touch with me, $20 a month, and I'll be on this other Snapchat. And so right away, I got like a good like 20 people that were like, yep, sign me up. I'm here. And then I used my following because I also had a page, an Instagram page for like my dancing. So I also advertised there and just kind of like slowly started pulling people in. And then it went from that to, I think, when it got to like its peak time. Well, actually, so it got up to like about 75 members. And I was keeping track of all of this on a Microsoft Excel sheet
Really?
of when, yeah, on an Excel sheet of who paid, when they paid, how many months they bought, and when I needed to renew or remove them. But because we were doing everything over like Cash App, I would have to, when it was time for them to renew, I'd have to reach out to them and say, hey, I had like this little copy and paste message of like, hey, your subscription is up, it's time to renew it, and like a little link to pay me. And then I'd have to like put down that I sent that and then mark off if they paid, or I'd send them a follow-up message. And it was a lot of work once I got to 75 people. It was
Yeah.
a lot to keep track of. And I was very organized, but it was still becoming like it was very time consuming and it was still growing. So I was like, this is going to get like unmanageable really soon. So I started to look for a solution to my problem and I found FanCentro, and they had a Snapchat, like they had it designed for Snapchat. So like how OnlyFans has like the subscription in the wall and everything. And I'd like most closely compare that to like Instagram. FanCentro had all that, but they also had the option to sell your Snapchat subscription through there at the time. And that was a game changer for me. So I could direct everyone there. It auto billed them. So I didn't have to chase it down every single month. And if somebody's card bounced or they canceled, I just got a notification when their subscription was up to remove them. And if somebody signed up, I just got a notification to add them. And it made my life so much easier. So I think I ended up scaling it to like, I don't remember the actual number. I feel like I had like two or 3,000 people on my Snapchat, and I
Really?
raised it to $30 a month. Yeah, it got huge. And then Snapchat said, we don't like you guys selling porn on our platform and monetizing it like this. So they started shutting down, like it was, you pretty much couldn't do it. Like they really cracked down on it for a good couple months and made it really hard. And so I lost a lot of my following thanks to that. And it was really stressful and a ton of work because I'd also quit my job as a diamond broker because I'd been doing so well. And all of a sudden that was like falling to pieces. So I made an OnlyFans at that time because I was like, I'm losing all this traffic. I had all these people who are willing to spend $30 a month to see me, and I'm losing them. So I made an OnlyFans to try and grab some of those people over. Not great, not a great conversion rate, honestly, between Snapchat and that. Via Snapchat, you can hide from your wife, and OnlyFans, you can't. And FanCentro, when it charged you, it does not pop up as FanCentro Premium Snapchat on your bill,
Yeah.
where OnlyFans pops up as OnlyFans on your
Yes.
statement. Like you
It's
can't hide that
also
from your
if you
wife.
if you put your credit card inside OnlyFans, you can read it that if
Yeah,
they will charge something from you on the invoice, they will stay OnlyFans.
it says OnlyFans. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I lost a ton of people.
A friend of me and me 2 days ago, we read it because he have to check something on my OnlyFans. And he was like, and he's also like 20 years in industry. And he said,
Yeah.
I never saw so much shit like this. Why the guys are doing this? This is so crazy. I say, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I wish it didn't say that because honest, we would have so many more customers if it had a more inconspicuous name on the billing statement. That's like, I mean, when you buy
Why?
sex toys online, they come in a black box because they know that you don't
I
want
know.
people to know. And I feel like that's been an unspoken thing for like every other cam site when it charges customers. I don't know of a single other one that pops up as like the name
So
of the porn.
for German people, you don't have it in US, I think, but for German people on Fan Central, you can use PaySafe cards as a card where you can put money on it. So really
Oh,
easy. Yeah, it's like you go
see?
to a gas mass station, you have a card and you can put money on the card. So
See, discretion. It's important in our industry.
I
OnlyFans
know.
totally like missed that boat, but whatever.
But also in Germany right now, some German platforms have right now PayPal and something. You don't know
Hmm.
PayPal, right? You don't have PayPal in US.
We do, but I don't think for the sites, no.
Yeah,
I'm
in
not
Germany
sure.
they were work now with a coin based
Mm-hmm.
on the platforms, so they started to use PaySafe.
Oh, that'd be
PayPal,
nice.
PayPal, yeah.
That would be really nice.
It is.
US needs to catch up on some things. We do.
Okay, so you started to create content. I know I was also a content creator for Snapchat. So,
Mhm.
about the shows, because can you tell a little bit the guys about the shows you was doing on your secret snap that they understand what
Yeah.
you was uploading?
So when I first started, I didn't really know what to do. So I asked I was like, what are you guys posting? Like, just so I know, because we had a lot of crossover of our customers because we all danced at the same clubs in Portland, or, all strip club regulars. They go to all of them and they have their favorites and whatever. And so I was asking my friends, I'm like, what are you guys posting? And I had one friend who she was like, every time I take a shower, I just post stuff in the shower. And so we all started following each other too, to see to kind of get an idea of what we were all doing and get inspirations. We all started following each other. And this was before I found Fan Center. This is when I was just starting. So we all started following each other. And I had also found I think it was ManyVids or Clips for Sale at the time. And I was like, oh, well, I can take what I'm posting here and post it and sell it again over here. So why wouldn't I? And so I started doing that too. I would film it and post it. And then, so I was starting to kind of do like, these were like my baby shows. Like I didn't have the idea of a show in my head yet. It was still like, oh, I just need to post something. And it wasn't a show to me yet until I met Melrose Michaels, who I love and adore. And she was also doing Snapchat at the time. And I have to give her so much credit because she taught me so much. Like she helped my career immensely. Like I owe her everything, so much love, and I love her. So like with
I
all my
on
heart, I love her.
honestly, I learned a lot from her too.
I love her brain. Like, oh my God, like she's gorgeous, but her brain, oh, she's an incredible woman.
I
So
know.
she was like, well, we need it. Like, it's a show. Like, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I was like, oh, show. Oh. And so she and I were following each other's Snapchats, and I got so much inspiration from her. I was always just blown away by the content that she was making and the way that she was doing her shows. So I was like, okay, there's my inspiration. I want to be like Mel one day. And started to do shows with a storyline and just kind of naturally found that I loved to do role plays. And I would have never known that because I had never had like a intimate partner that I role played with, like I feel like because of like movies and things like that, like role playing has been made fun of so much because it is funny, but it's been made fun of so much. And like there's all like the scenes in the movies of like people being like so over the top in the costumes, and like they're always like the crazy sex couple too, like that are like doing the weird role plays. So that is kind of that's how it was painted in mainstream media to me growing up. And so that's how I've interpreted role play as like over the top crazy, like you're trying way too hard to be sexy, just have sex. That's kind of how I interpreted role playing. And then I started doing shows where I needed some sort of story, and that naturally took me into role playing. And I found that I loved it. It's so much fun. Like I feel so bad for ever having like that opinion of it, I understand why I had it, and I think a lot of people do have it, but oh my gosh, role playing is so fun. And because I'm still a solo content creator.
Um, so you've got your first inspiration from Mel.
Yes.
And when I started on Snapchat, I also saw your shows. And what I noticed, it was like you had always really cool backgrounds. You created every day a new show, right? But you had
I
always
did.
a new story, a new outfit, and this was so cool. You had a lot of ideas. So can you tell the models a little bit um how it's working that you was creating for the last years every day new show?
Yes. Yeah, because I did that in 2020. I filmed 300 shows. So
Wow. Just
yeah,
it is just it is as a solo content creator, right?
alone. I filmed
And you
300
filmed it
alone.
with your phone, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I regret filming them all like portrait, like Snapchat style, because they're not very useful
I'm
now. I'm like,
still
I have
doing this too.
300.
Yes,
I have so many of these. I'll do something with them, but still. So I kept it interesting because that it can get boring quick, especially if like you're using just your bed or your bedroom and that's the only space. Like I was lucky enough to have a room to myself to film in. Like we had a spare room that I could use. But
I saw your room. I saw your room. It was so nice with the lights. I think
yes,
you had cool lights. I saw it.
I loved that room. Yeah, it was the spare room in the house, but I was living with at that time 5 other people. So it had to stay, yeah, it had to stay in that room. And it was like, they weren't like, it wasn't like a bunch of like 20-year-old girls again. Like I was living with grown-ups that did not want, out of respect for them, I wasn't going to move it outside of that room. So in my case, I did have a whole room, but I only had that one room to make all these shows. So I made 300 shows in one room in 2020.
300 shows in one room.
Yes. Yeah, and it was challenging, and I definitely reused outfits and scenes and everything, but what I did to keep it interesting was I actually have an acronym for it. It's my total system. And so, oh my gosh, I haven't gone over it in a while, but total, it was theme, outfit, toy. Oh, what's the A? The L is location. It's been a minute. I'll come around to the A. Outfit. Don't remember that one. But anyways, so first I would figure out, okay, what am I going to film today? And that was always where I would start. Like, what am I in the mood for? Am I kind of grumpy? Am I kind of happy? And I would take myself and how I'm feeling as my inspiration, unless,
This is
somebody had given me
nice.
a cool idea.
Really nice.
Yeah. So, however I was feeling is the show I'd be making. Because if I had scheduled out what shows I was going to film, and I'm like, I'm going to film this super cutesy, like schoolgirl role play and be all bubbly and cute. And then I walk into it that day totally grumpy and, kind of pissed off, and the grocery store was packed and there was traffic, and now I'm trying to film this like cute happy thing, and I'm not cute and happy right now. It really doesn't work, and it doesn't feel organic. So I would just go off of how I felt and what I wanted to do, how I was feeling. I'd think about like, okay, so I filmed a schoolgirl thing and a JOI and then like a sloppy blowjob the last few days. What am I going to do today that's different? I'm in kind of a bad mood. I don't really want to give a lot right now. So I'm going to do a bossy kind of a punishment JOI because that's the mood that I'm in. It suits me and my attitude right now better. So that's what I'm going to do. And then, oh, A is for angle. Ha, there we go.
Ah,
I knew it'd come to me while I'm talking about it because I still, to this day, go through this process. So I think of the theme and I pull that from how I'm feeling and or how I'm dressed a lot of times. Like I'll take a look at myself in the mirror and say, oh, I look like kind of a hippie today. Oh, let's do like a yoga role play and you picked up the hippie girl at yoga class and now you just got her back to your house and you want to see what she's all about and what kind of lover is she going to be. And then I get to role play this kind of hippie girl who wants to like stroke your cock and like we use some coconut oil, I'm all natural. And like because it's just fun. So I get to kind of like roll into whatever character I'm feeling, attitude I'm feeling, whatever. So that's the theme. That's the first T. Then the O is the outfit. And nowadays, especially back then when I only had the one room, I would pull out whatever outfit I felt like wearing that day. Nowadays, I actually use whatever I'm wearing for the day as the way that I start a lot of my shows because I do like the role play and the realism of it. And I do like to really make the show with how I'm feeling and what I'm doing because then it's more authentic for me. It's realer for me. And so they do get that true real emotion and everything from me. Like it's not a performance so much. It's me having fun. So especially nowadays, I start in what I'm wearing and role
and
play. And I might like
honestly, I really like this because when you do it every day, like makeup, your outfits, and it
it's
doesn't,
exhausting.
yes, yes. And it's also not authentic anymore, you know?
No, it's not. It's really not. And so I do it like if I'm going to off camera just for myself, go masturbate, I'm not going to change my clothes and get dressed up and put on makeup and go do that. I'm going to go, no matter what fantasy I've got going on in my head, I'm just going to go roll into it from where I'm at, comfortably roll into that. And so I actually film from wherever I'm at, comfortably into where I want to be sexually. And I feel like the shows come off really well because it's genuinely me sharing it. So yeah, so the O is for outfit. So pick out your outfit. And I do not to say that I don't pick out outfits because I definitely dress up for my shows pretty often still. But I do almost always when if I'm going to film like 3 shows, the first one is from the outfit I'm wearing
I
down.
know.
And then I'll switch.
Yeah.
So the other T is the toy. So that's just basic, like I decide if I'm going to use a pink vibrator or a dildo or whatever. And then, or if I'm just going to use my hands, if there's even going to be a toy involved. And then the A is the angle. And I'm going to explain why all these little factors are so important. So the A is the angle. So where am I filming it from? If I'm sitting on the couch doing a dominant role play, that angle should be lower than me because I should be looking down. I should be dominant. If I'm going to be more submissive and bubbly, it helps for that angle to be straight on or to be above me so that I look smaller and cuter and it fits the scene better. So there's that. And then the L is the location. So am I going to film this on the bed or am I going to film it like when it comes to solo content creating? Am I going to film it on the bed? And if I am filming it on the bed, am I filming it at the edge of the bed? Am I sitting at the edge of the bed? Am I all the way on the bed? Are we going to move the camera to where I'm kind of on the corner of the bed? Because I can film 3 shows on the bed from different angles, and that makes the show different every time. If I'm going to sit on the edge of the bed for one, that's a completely different feeling, or with a straight on angle too. Straight on angle, sitting on the edge of the bed, doing a JOI. And then I raise my camera up a little bit. get in the middle of the bed and kind of snuggle into it and do something cute and bubbly and fun and like, come snuggle with me. That's a totally different feeling. Still in the same bed, I could still be in the same outfit. And it's a completely different feeling. And then we move it over to the corner of the bed at a lower angle and do something dominant and mean. And I'm sitting on the bed and you're not allowed to get into bed tonight because you've been bad. So you're going to sleep on the couch. But first, I'm going to play with you like a toy. Totally
Oh,
different
this is
feeling.
nice.
Totally different feeling. So the angle makes a huge difference. You can film 2-3 different shows from the without moving your tripod, just moving the angle or just moving it a foot to the right or the left and just tilting it a little bit. I also changed, like I have, or I used to have, since I've moved to Texas, I left a lot of stuff behind, but I used to have like this closet of all these little tiny throw pillow covers. And I would just swap out the color of the pillow or like take the pillows off the bed, put a different pillow on the bed. Or if I had like orange pillows behind and like white pillows in front, I just switch them and just, or like
Nice.
the blanket was on the bed and now it's off the bed. The bed was made, now I messed up the bed and it's a totally different scene. It feels like a different day. So, or keep in mind when it comes to location, the couch is one location. The floor right in front of the couch is another location. You're still filming the couch, but the feeling is different when you move 2 feet lower onto the floor in front of the couch. And now you're leaning against the couch instead of sitting on the couch. That's a completely different location, different show. So when you take each little factor, the theme, the outfit, the toy, the angle, the location, when you tweak just one of them, boom, new show. So that's how I filmed 300 shows in one room in 2020 was I would pick out a corner of the room because I had so much stuff in that room that it was almost never clean because I was also filming in there almost every day. And so I would say, okay, I'm filming in the corner today. I'm filming right over here. I had like a little tent with pillows and I would film a show from, and then I'd change the angle, swap some pillows, change my outfit, do another show. And then I'd change it again. And it would be like 3 or 4 shows in one corner,
It's crazy.
but they'd all be different. And then the next time I filmed, I'd film 3 or 4 on my little white couch, but they'd all be different. Or I would have like this light over here that's
Yes.
purple. Maybe I'd change it to blue and then it's different. So any little tiny thing that just, they're not things that even that somebody has to like notice, but passively our mind will say, will notice that things are different and it will feel like a different scene, a different day, a different time. Or I would
Okay, and I have another
do one show
question.
with no makeup. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the awesome, the makeup is a really interesting
Yeah,
thing.
and then put makeup on or just turn the lights off. So having
Yes,
your
yes.
skylight, yeah, having the main light in the room on creates a more lit experience. Where like right now I have a ring light on me. So if I turned the light in the actual room off, there would be more of a nighttime feel to it because I'd only be getting lit by the ring light and everything else would be a little darker. And that changes the whole scene. So it's a lot you could do.
Okay, and so the last year, social media goes way harder for the adult creators. So
Mm-hmm.
from where you was bringing your traffic for Snapchat?
For Snapchat, I was using share for shares with other girls who had Snapchat was a huge one. And
Oh,
then
this is nice.
Instagram was great and Twitter. I think Twitter probably brought more than Instagram at the time. But my main polls during my Snapchat era were Twitter and other people's Snapchats. And I would have a public Snapchat and a premium one. So I'd advertise the premium one on the public one. So I would be, so me and my friends would constantly be sharing our free ones so that people would join them. And then I would post like the first 2 minutes of a show before I actually showed everything, like it's the role play leading up to it. And then I would say, okay, guys, I'm switching to my other Snapchat. Bye. And they would be like, how do I
Yeah,
get on that Snapchat? I
this
want to
was the
see
Safe
this.
for Work intro, right?
Yep. Yeah. And I posted a show every single day. I did not miss a day for like 2 years on
It's
Snapchat. I posted a
this
show
is
every
amazing.
single day. Yeah,
I know.
it was high maintenance.
Would you say
I don't think I'd want to
in
do that again. I I just remade a premium Snapchat and I post 3 times a week and I'm like, that still feels like a lot. I enjoy it because it's kind of nostalgic for me, but it I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this actually. I don't know how I did this every single day.
would you say in this times shout out is a good way to bring traffic?
um on Snapchat or just on platforms in general?
Just right now for girls to bring people to their OnlyFans or to their pages.
Yes, yes, it is. I find that doing, even if it's just a selfie together, that if you're posting, like if somebody's following my page and my friend is like wants some promotion, so I offer to shout her out on my page. Me taking her photos, putting them on my page with her little ad and tagline and all that stuff. My people are gonna like it because she's gonna be hot. It's gonna be good. So she will get some conversion. It'll be good. But to maximize it, what I feel works better than like her sexy photo is a cute selfie of her and I together because they're following me. So
Yeah,
they're here to see me. And when some other girl pops up with like, hey, come follow me, it feels like an ad. And so
yeah,
they will click on it, obviously, if they're interested in her. But they will pay more attention to the post if they're like, oh, who's Tilly hanging out with? That's her friend. And see that
yes,
she is actually my friend because there we are together. And then the second photo is like her sexy photo and all that. It creates a lot more interest and it creates a tie to something that they're already familiar with and they already like. And she's gorgeous and they're interested in what she's saying. That conversion rate is going to be higher in my experience. So even like if you're going to
really
shout out your
interesting for
friend
the girls. This is
and
really interesting, yeah.
yeah, if you're going to shout out your friend and she's got some hot modeling photos, like they're like, wow, yeah, post them. But do you guys have a cute selfie together at a bar, like looking all like cute together? Like, did you go out to a rodeo together or something? Like, do you have a cute photo of you guys together? Because that should be the first photo because they will recognize you and stop and look at it rather than just scrolling on past another, like, oh, it's an ad. So, and then the other photos should be the super hot ones of her. So they can be like, whoa, her friend is hot. Instead of just the caption of follow my friend, because I think most of them are keen to the fact that a lot of us don't know each other in person. Like
Yes,
they are my friends, but like we're not hanging out every Tuesday doing
yeah,
karaoke. Okay. Like, so to see that, like, oh, this is actually somebody that like they're out hanging out with, that starts the fantasy of like, well, what do they do when they're together? Are they ever going to collab? Like they actually hang out
yeah.
together. So it's just a little more intriguing that way. And obviously, like you can only do that with people you actually know and see. But I'm just saying, if you have a selfie with a person, that should be the cover photo because that pulls people, in my experience, it pulls people a little bit more. That also, though, is based off my experience, which my customer base, since I'm a solo creator, my customer base is very invested in me and who I am because there's nobody else to look at. It's just me. So I find what the more personal I make something, the better response from them I have because they truly want to get to know me and it's fun. It's fun to get to know them too. I really enjoy it.
So for the girls, I also tried. So my podcast is featured by modelsearcher.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Model Searcher is an, yeah, adult-friendly social media platform. And there are right now a lot of users on the platform, and you can link directly to your OnlyFans. So it's
Mhm.
really important. I was trying this now for the last, I think, 4 or 5 months. And you have also a tracking link, so you can track how many people go to your OnlyFans. And it's still working. You just have to post daily. It's like post daily, like what you post on Instagram. And this also
Mhm.
works really well because yeah, Instagram goes harder and harder. So for the girls, if you like to
Yeah.
try modelsearcher.com, just do it. Just try it also for agencies or studios. It's really good to do it.
I'm gonna try that.
I think your agency is working also with Model Searcher because I was in a pod with Leah last time,
Mhm.
and we was talking also about this. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. Love Mia.
Yeah, it's so funny because now I have you on my pod, and when I started in the agency as test
Yeah.
monitorial for Germany, I was
Mhm.
learning from your shows, from Mel's shows, and it was so for me it was completely new because I was an exclusive cam girl for the last, I think at this time, 4 years or 5 years. So I know
Mhm.
to entertain people, but it was completely new for me. The
Yeah.
the structure of the shows for the first
The
part,
going the
the middle
live
part.
to the act to the pre-recorded is so different. I'm not like I don't want to say I'm bad at live because I'm pretty okay at live, but it's just not my bread and
But you
butter.
can do
Like
it. The good thing is you can do it whenever you like to do it. Yeah,
yes,
you
yeah.
can into do it I don't know what in English. When you put it into your day with your
Hmm.
clothes, with your mood, you can show
Yeah.
some more things of you. You can do it with your phone, and you don't have to sit in front of your big computer where you have the
Yeah.
big cams or whatever. And
It does
it's
make traveling very easy. Yeah. Because
yes,
I
you
can,
can do it around the
yeah.
world, and I love it.
Yeah, I can do it anywhere. I have to have Wi-Fi to upload it and do all that, but I don't have to have it while I'm filming it. So there have been times that I've been like up in the Rockies and I had to go all the way back down out of the mountains to get some Wi-Fi to post it.
This is
But I got to
nice.
go up and explore and film and take photos and adventure
And you
and
also
be able
can
to get
do,
like a
you also
whole bunch
can
of
do it.
content.
Yeah, you also can plan, for example, 3 or 4 days, 4 shows a day. Do
Yep.
it 2 times per week, and you have the rest of the week your free time. You also can do it like
Yes.
this. It's so nice.
It really is. There are some days that I will get, or like if I have something planned that I need to be somewhere, I'll just film, 4 shows a day for like 3 days in a row. And then I have them all ready. And then all I have to keep up on is the chats and the daily stuff and the things that I can just do from my phone rather than like, oh crap, I need to film a whole show or I need to get dressed and like go live and do all this stuff. Nope, I can just get the content done and then focus on the actual interactions and the things that matter.
Yeah, and I was also into Snapchat when they started to block their accounts.
Yeah, that was
It was
rough.
horrible.
Yeah, that was, man. I was like, why Snapchat? Why do you have to do this?
How is it
Leave
right?
us be.
But now Snapchat allowed not safe for work content, right? When the account is private, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Which the accounts were private. So I'm like, you
Yeah,
like you got
because my friend told me, hey, Snapchat allowed not safe for work content. I say, what? Yeah, when the account is closed, you can post whatever you like. And I said, eh?
yeah, that's I was just told that recently too. And so I restarted it because I'm like, let me see. Let me see about
You
this.
you
And so
you
far it's been
restarted
true.
it?
So I restarted my premium one, but it's not the same. And so because I knew that I did not want to
But how you
wake
bring
up every
people to
morning
your
and post a
secret
whole
snap?
show. Hmm?
How you bring people to your secret snap?
I really don't advertise it much. I put it on there because I knew I was like, it's not hard for me to post something 3 times a week. That's what I'm committed to. So
But is it allowed to bring from a normal snap to link to a
I don't
private
think
snap?
so. I don't think so. I do have a public snap, but I really I don't link anything there. I allude to having a premium Snapchat on there, but I'm not on there much.
But I
Really,
don't,
I just
but this
have
make no sense where they allowed this. But how you will get
they,
money? How will this work? Still with Fan Central?
yeah, so I just reopened it on FanCentro and put it in my link tree and everything. And there are still people because I had such a following on Snapchat back in 2020, like during COVID, that when they tap on my links and see that, oh, she has premium Snapchat still, they subscribe to it. So I still end up with, I just kind of put it on there to see. I'm not pushing traffic towards it at all. I just put it on there as an option for my traffic to choose. And I am getting some Snapchat members. I don't push it hard. It's more of like just a little nostalgic thing for me that I enjoy doing. But it is still because I call that it's not passive income because I have to actively be on it more. So I don't love it anymore. It doesn't quite fit my lifestyle as much. That's why I'm only doing it like two
But
to three days.
also, but also Snapchat is right now the normal snap really hard, yeah? Because I just
Yeah,
was
that
posting
I
a
wouldn't
bikini. I just
I
was
wouldn't
posting a
bother with.
bikini pic and they
Yeah.
was deleting this pic. I said, what?
Yeah. I would not I wouldn't even bother with like a regular public Snapchat unless you were going to be like completely safe for work on
Safe.
it. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, no, because I love Snapchat. I do. I enjoy it. But I don't use it in my personal life anymore. I think just because I used it so much for work, I don't think to like Snapchat things like my friends do.
I think also I don't know if a lot of people right now, also from the influencers, have Snapchat anymore. I don't saw it the last time often. There are
Mm-mm.
just some big people maybe they are focusing right now. I don't know if they're pushing these influencers or not.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, I don't know if it works if you will start with a safe for work Snapchat. I know that a lot of models are using it to chat with important people, for example, soccer players or something, because you can't do screenshots of the chats, you know? So if they like to
Yes.
talk in secret, then it
Yeah.
makes sense
Hmm.
because they prefer it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it's worth time to start a safer work Snapchat.
No, I wouldn't say it's worth the time. I'd say if you are a person who enjoys using Snapchat, then sure, have a safer work public Snapchat because you like to post, to take selfies, and that's like your go-to app to do that anyways, then it makes sense. If it's going to be an extra thing for you to do, don't bother doing it. That would be my advice because it's I can't say it's not beneficial, but is it worth it right now? I personally don't think so because I
Yeah.
have one and I stopped using it again because it it doesn't drive traffic. It's just another way for people to see you. And that's good. The more they see you, the more they'll want to see you and the more they'll remember you. So it is good. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, Tali, I have another question. So if girls like to start in the online business and have some question and maybe like to start with one of your ref links from you,
Mm-hmm.
where they should reach out to you.
Ooh, I should put that in my link tree. Instagram, actually not Instagram, because if you even mention the word OnlyFans or OF and all that in an Instagram DM, it gets all of us in trouble. So please don't do that. Twitter.
Also, the guys don't understand it.
Oh my
They
gosh,
will,
yes.
oh my God, there's
Don't
just one
DM me
chance.
about my OnlyFans.
Don't open the
Click
messages.
on the link and DM me on OnlyFans. Come
Oh,
on. But yeah, don't speak the words OnlyFans on Instagram. And that's a big no-no. Don't. So
but maybe they should reach out to you by email or what?
I would say Twitter. Twitter is going to be the
Twitter.
right place. I have my DMs open on Twitter, and I do check my DM requests
Oh, I have to follow
frequently
you on Twitter too.
on Twitter. So it's TillyToy_tweets.
Tilly Toy
Is that
tweets.
TillyToy_tweets? Yeah.
One question. How is your Twitter going?
Oh, you froze for a sec. What?
Oh, you hear me again?
Yes.
Yeah. How is your Twitter going at the last months? Are you growing? Because
It's been
I'm
pretty good.
stuck in
Yeah.
since 2 years, since 1 or 2 years, I'm stuck in by 160,000. It goes a little bit up and down and up and down. It's not growing anymore, but
Yeah.
my tweets got reached. So I don't understand this.
That's, I mean, it's always changing. And I've noticed in all social media that there are like seasons of growth, and then there's just like a plateau where nothing happens. Like for Instagram too, like I gained like 60,000 followers over the course of like 3 months, and now
In
have
three
been stuck
months,
there.
60,000.
Yeah, it was crazy fast. And I swear Instagram just like accidentally took me off the no-no list. They like took me out of Instagram jail for a minute, and then I grew, and then they were like, "Oh, whoops, she should be in jail," and put me back in jail. So that's why I do stay consistent on Instagram, because you never know, you might hit one of those pockets and have a growth spurt, and if you're not posting, you won't catch that. With Twitter, it's been kind of the same thing. Every now and then I'll like join a retweet group or something and get a little boost from that, but I really don't like to, because I don't like my feed being full of other people's content. Like I want
Don't
people
do
to
it.
come to my
Don't do
page
it.
and see me. Yeah, I really don't like
I
having a
follow I
bunch,
fo
like I'll retweet stuff.
I follow you right now.
Hmm.
And I will send you a really interesting tweet to understand the Twitter code. Just
Hmm.
read it and then you know
Okay.
what it's allowed to do, what's not allowed to do. It's a really cool account. There's a guy who studying the Twitter code, and I can send you something. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Okay, that would be amazing, because Twitter is especially after like Elon bought it, and so it's changed a lot just since then,
I know, that's why
along
I
with
will
all of the
send it. That's
regular
why I will
constant
send it to
changing
you,
social media stuff.
because what he wrote down is so interesting. You will understand Twitter much better, because it's also important if you like comments, if you're interacting with people, if you interact
Mhm.
with the wrong people, Twitter put you on a ban too. So
Well, and
in my
Instagram does
case,
that
I
also.
don't yes. Oh,
Yeah, Instagram will. So because like my main page, I follow all of my industry friends,
yeah.
and my DMs are full of me talking to my industry friends
No, don't do
or
it.
people
Don't
in the
talk
industry
in
talking about work.
Instagram.
Like, well, and we don't even talk about the industry, but because we are accounts that are associated with that already, and we're all interacting together, we're kind of like in that group of these people are the undesirable sex workers. We don't want them here. So, like, I just started doing like yoga stretching content, and it's sexy, but it's safe for work. And I made an Instagram for it, but I told myself, I'm like, I'm not going to follow any of my friends back on it, because if I do, like, I'm only
Look,
going to
you are
follow
the
yoga
first
pages.
person, you are the first person who said this. I was starting to change the algorithm to fitness from the
Mm-hmm.
industry to I stopped to follow a lot of creators from our industry, just 2 or 3
Yep.
right now. So if girls say to me, Jessie, why you don't follow me anymore? I explain because I like to change the algorithm. I make some fitness bodybuilders into my closed friends.
Yep.
And this saved my account. Trust me, this saved my account
It
because if
does.
the girls follow all the shadow banned accounts, your account will get a ban too. Also, if you tagged a lot of shadow banned accounts, your account will get a ban too. And girls don't understand this.
Yep.
Also, what you write in DMs is
Yeah.
so important. It's so that's why I
Yes.
don't communicate in Instagram. And I hate when people write
Mm-mm.
shit in DMs because I am like,
I
don't
know,
talk to
but
me.
whenever I get a DM about like, hey girl, I need some help with OnlyFans, I'm like,
Oh my God.
no, like, go away.
And also all the agencies, they reach out to you. They wrote something about OnlyFans and you are, oh my God, are you crazy?
I know, I'm like, you spelled the whole word, get out of here.
And people don't understand it. And I am like,
They don't. And it's not something you would think of, because like we have this idea that our DMs are private, and they are not
yeah,
at all.
now it's my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, Instagram, no. That's my main page. I'm just eating it. It's fine. I'm like, it'll be shadow banned forever, whatever. I use it more to like stay in touch with my friends and be in contact with them. And my really good customers and followers, they also follow and interact with me on there because they want to see me. But as far as like using it for reach, no, you're better off starting a separate page, not attached to the other one. Don't tag the main page. Don't
yes,
touch your industry page, and do it with something like fitness, or like I'm doing yoga, and then get some landing pages elsewhere to direct traffic back to your pages. Because if and don't follow your friends on it, like that's, I see people make backup pages, but the first thing they do on the backup page is follow all of their industry friends and their own pages, and then tag their own pages, and that page will never grow.
I know.
So I mean, if you make a new page, you should be doing it for traffic and engagement. So you should be optimizing the amount of people that are going to see your reels, not staying in contact with your friends. Get their phone
Yeah.
numbers,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay, girl. Do you like to give some advice or say something more to the girls?
Hmm. Stay consistent. That's, I know everybody says that, but that is
Consistent
like
and
the ultimate
consistency and
piece.
content is key.
Consistency and content. Make content and be consistent. Don't get discouraged. Stick to it. Keep that positive attitude whenever you can. And if you don't have a positive attitude, make a meme
Be
show.
authentic. Be authentic and try
Yes, be
to,
authentic. Don't force it. Just go off how you feel, do it that way. I mean, we I get like playing a character, obviously, because I mean, we are role playing always. We are in character when we're working. But if that character can be as close to you as possible, it will make your life way easier. Because like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, and the girls, like even at the strip club, the girls who have like a total alter ego identity for their dancer name and all that, I see them get burnt out. Those are the girls that will disappear for like a month and then
yes.
come back to the strip club because they just had to walk away from it. Where the girls that are just there and they'll talk to the customers about their cats, and they're in college and all that stuff, and being authentic and truly just sharing yourself. You can share yourself safely. If you're aware of the way you talk, the words you use, whether you're using the name of the school, you don't have to say I'm going to OSU or LSU. You can say I'm in college. Don't say people's names, but you can say my brother, my friend, my husband, whatever. You can refer
Yes.
to all these people in your life. You can talk about your life. You can talk about your pets. You can talk about your job. Don't use specific words, locations, names, things like that.
This is
Keep yourself
really,
safe,
really, really
but you
interesting.
can share as much as you want to feel comfortable, to feel honest. For me, like honesty is a huge important, extremely important for me. Honesty is. And I don't like to have people in my life who and when I say I don't mean people who will, do something and lie about it, like flat out lie, but just people who aren't living true to themselves and who will bend or mold themselves to the situation to fit in rather than just living honestly and being themselves and speaking their minds. That's extremely important to me. And so it moves over into my work life a lot because I have to live honestly. Like I have friends who are like, don't ask Tilly a question that you don't want to know the answer to because she's going to tell you. All my customers and everybody who talks to me, I'm I'm not harsh, but I am honest always at all times. And so that translates into my work life as well. As I try to share, I do share all of myself with with everyone. I just do it safely in a way that people can't find me. They don't know too much about me, but they get to know me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the girls, if they like to start an industry with one of your links, they should reach out on X to you. I
On
will
X.
also
Yeah.
on X, yeah, I will also link your X under the podcast.
Yes, thank you.
Um, it was a really nice time with you, and I think this was a really cool talk. Also for girls, they do solo content and they don't like to start to do hardcore content, how they can keep their shows or content interesting also over a long period. So
Yes.
thank you for
Yeah.
all your tips and tricks. Um,
Absolutely. I'm willing to share them with anybody who will listen. So like anyone can message me on Twitter for help, advice, whatever you
oh,
need.
this is
Might take
nice.
me might take me a few days to get around to answering it, but I will answer it, I promise.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Tilly. Maybe I will see you again on my podcast the next time. Maybe we will find another cool topic. This will be great.
Yes, that'd be great.
And yeah, thank you for your time. And let's talk soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.